really love this video. I think it was really, really good. I only found it by chance. Throws on a lot of questions for me that I'm not saying I know or whatever. I'm just trying to throw them open so that it adds to the subject matter. First off, I get the sense that the maker of this video, you know, the way the language and tone and everything, it's implying that monotheism is good, okay, and Satanism is bad. Now, I'm not a Satanist, and I don't particularly. I've had dealings with Satanists who have exactly the view you're saying here, big style, right? Which is we are animals, we should crush people who are weak, really heavy shit, that I totally am against in every which way, you know what I mean? But it's like certain suggestions in this. First of all, I like to ask the question, an out-and-out question of, what is the relationship between Satanism and magick, right, with a K, right? So, for instance, what relationship would Aleister Crowley have with Satanism? What role would his be in Satanism, per se, right? Because I can't believe that Satanism, with all its costumes, glamour, ritualized look about it, right, isn't also dabbling in magic. And when you dabble in magic, you're dabbling in like spirits, conjuring up spirits and things like that, and calling out names, ancient names of so-called demons and everything, right? So I can't believe your thesis or whatever, that Satanism is purely atheistic, if you by mean that they don't try and utilize spirit to further their agenda of control and crushing the weak, right? Because I see a connection, a very strong connection between Satanism and illuminati philosophy, right, which you have different levels of. So that's like, for instance, our culture is based on social Darwinism, right? It's all over the place, isn't it? I mean, people bullied in schools, kill the children topping themselves, you know what I mean? The schools not giving a shit. The whole of society is based on bullying, going out on the street, homeless people not caring, everything. You see it all over the fucking place. So it's based on social Darwinism, the fittest, and by fittest it also means people who think fit, like business-wise, you know what I mean, slick and who can screw who, get more money out. It's all based on social Darwinism. And Satanism is like, makes it, like you say, well, you don't say actually, you're making it out, it's kind of like atheism, which I don't think atheists believe they're religious. But me looking at these Satanists and all the the pomp and regalia, costumes and all the blah blah about it, to me is like religion. So they like make a religion out of social Darwinism, right? I don't know if you said that or whatever. So I'm seeing it as once you get these sects that use symbols and things like that, you can bet your bottom dollar that they are also doing magic. So it's kind of like, overtly they might pretend they're not, covertly they are, because the whole thing about magic itself, when you look at magic, the way it's come to us, because most of the top magicians are Freemasons. You know, it's all based on power. It's the mind ruling the emotions, and power over the emotions and things like that. So the Satanist is someone who not only wants material power, you know, the Satanists and the Illuminati, not only wants material power, secularly, right? You know, in the world of banking, blah blah, what you see on the news, you know, and everything, property and everything like that. But secretly, it wants power through mental power, through having contact with forces that it believes can have an effect over people. Hence the use of symbols. You see symbols in Freemasonry. Satanism will have some symbols, right? You see the image of, like, for instance, Baphomet. You show the image of Baphomet, right, in your video. That's shared by Knights Templar. Knights Templar influence the Freemasons. You know, so you can see it's all connected. You can see it's connected by the symbols they use. And as far as I've learned, symbols are for controlling people. There's different, you know, there's the for signaling to each other, the initiates that know what the symbols really mean. But they're also for sending out control over people who don't understand what they mean, right? And also for ritual, magic, which is for trying to impose their will over certain happenings and over people and everything like that. So I see it all as all of a piece. Is that you've got the actual materialism, which is really taking your money from you, you know, making you homeless, you know, with property and all the shit you see in this world. But there's also the covert sense of power over, which is knowing stuff you don't know and trying to get demons or whatever to do their bidding. So I think you're seeing it as a limited, seeing Satanism in kind of a limited view. And I also think you're making out that monotheism is somehow innocent. You know, that they've never done anything wrong. That the idea of the God, right, you know, that's ruling people from above, you know, the omnipresent God, that kind of belief system is totally all right, and I don't agree with that at all. I think that has done just as many things that are negative, but I mean that's for another time. But I just feel that I had to say that. It might be a bit garbled, but I just thought I'd get this out.